1978, when the Council on Biblical Inerrancy met, that was a defining moment. That was much like the Wittenberg door and nailing the 95 Theses to the door. It was a time for the church to stand. It was a time for the church to be definitive about what it believes. It was a time to draw a line in the sand, and you stand on one side or the other and to force the issue. And so what it did was it made the church stronger for those who believe in inerrancy. What the Inerrancy Council did was it framed the truth of what the Bible is, one, for those who believe it, to make them stronger in teaching it and preaching it, and second, for those who were untaught and didn't entirely know what to make of the whole issue. It gave them the tools to have full confidence in the Word of God. Now, for those who are not going to believe it, it doesn't matter how much evidence we give them. And many of them, I'll say this humbly, are unbelievers anyway, masquerading as leaders in the church. Now, I'm not saying that across the board for everyone, but you know, if they don't even believe in the message of the gospel, I'm not going to be able to convince you that the Bible itself is the Word of God. Well, now that we have affirmed the Bible, now we're going to have to interpret the Bible. Now we're going to have to wrestle with, what does it say? It's just inevitable. When you come back to the Bible, you come back to the doctrines of sovereign grace, because they're all, you know, they're there. Not just in isolated chapters, but it's an entire worldview. It's not just some isolated text. It's how you see life. It's how you see the church. It's how you see worship. It's how you see missions. It's how you see everything. It's a game changer. I mean, this changes everything. I mean, the Mississippi River is not flowing south to north. It's flowing north to south. And, I mean, you just need to see the direction and the flow of grace in this world. And it's all divinely initiated, and there's a glorious triumph about it. The most confident, hope-filled believers are those who believe these truths. I mean, they believe they triumph over every obstacle, even in the most difficult hours of history. That's why the motto of City of Geneva is, after darkness, comma, light. That in the darkest hours of history, the light has shined forth the brightest. That's what happened in the Reformation. And that is, I think, what we're seeing in some small measure in this hour of the American church, at least. A recovery of the Bible, a recovery of the doctrines of the Bible. I think this is worth being excited about, because it deals with the fame of God's name. It deals with the glory that belongs to Him alone. And the high watermark eras of history have always, without exception, without any exception, always been those times when the church has come back to these truths.